Shalom, Yasharallah, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, BARAKAH Barakatah YAHAWAH, Barakatah YAHAWASHI, Barakatah Kodash. Now, with this lesson, it's going to be a short field lesson, for those of us that know, throughout you brothers and sisters, that know that the United States water infrastructure is being, dealt with. They say cyber attacks on the water infrastructure. And a lot of people are talking, they saying that it may touch, the electrical grid. And the American, the United States electrical grid is already under stress. It's been under stress for years, and it's getting worse and worse over time. Because the Most High already promised which shall come into this land, Egypt, Babylon, Sodom, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, Babylon and everything of that nature, because this place is filled with wickedness and sin. Homosexuality is filled in the earth because of America. They have a pride month, literally a pride month. For those of you that don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody does know. They also, the things they push with the transgenderism, all manners of homosexuality, bestiality, you got the people that call themselves furries and therians, and all manners of wickedness and evil is filled in this place, America. This where all the evil spirits go, and lay upon the people and bring plagues and sicknesses. That's why much diseases is in the earth. Even they talk about Atlanta. Atlanta still is rising with STDs. People getting hit with all manners of parasites and things of that nature, because look at the wickedness through the things that people eat, how people live, how people drink, the alcohols that they drink that in the morning like it's tea, like it's water, and these are the things we got to understand. If y'all can't hear me, it's because the cars are driving by, but we're going to listen to this a little bit, just so y'all can see what's going on. Fair use. This is not my video. This is only for educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? We know how YouTube is. Anyway, here we go.
Water facilities there that were targeted. Outside of that, after doing some digging, we come to find out because they said something, not the feds. Michigan is saying their water systems were targeted in a cyber attack. Now, the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy put this information out saying that they're getting hit. It's part of a wave of cyber attacks targeting U.S. water systems. And they go on to mention Minnesota and South Dakota in this article. So we find out that...
So there's multiple states, that's being attacked. And it's probably more than that. You got to understand, there's droughts. Many states and towns are dealing with droughts. It's dealing with potential famine, wildfires, and all manners of, like I said, they talking about explosive diarrhea. But when you hear that in your own land, that your water infrastructure is being attacked and they don't know who it is, and the electrical grid could potentially go down. The biggest things that people are going to wild out on when all hell breaks loose is food and drink, because those two things are essential for life, for survival. And look at everyone eating and drinking. Like I said, everyone's eating things, that's a vanity, and everyone's drinking things of vanity too. Nobody is eating or drinking healthy. Everyone is eating and drinking like they kings, prideful kings. Like this place never gonna go down, never gonna be destroyed. Even a lot of people that say they believe in this truth. So the scripture I wanted to go to, of course, 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15 and 2nd Ezra 13 are the two main chapters that we're dealing with right now. Joel chapter 2 as well, of the kings of the earth being led into the valley of Josaphat, roughly paraphrasing. These are the times we're dealing with. World War III on the rise, about to hit its peak. Egypt just got attacked with an earthquake, a 5.2 magnitude earthquake, right at their capital. you know. But anyway, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 11. Actually, I'm going to start from verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land. Right? So people getting hit with pestilence, you know, like I said, diseases and sicknesses, you know, tornadoes and hurricanes, droughts, famine, all these things that the Lord hit Egypt, the literal Egypt, Salakia, the literal Egypt with. He's hitting this place, the spiritual Egypt with, which is America, you know, the United States. He's hitting them with these things. It says, Egypt, Salakia, with Egypt, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah shall bring upon it. That they that till the ground shall mourn. Who are they that till the ground? That's the farmers. You know, look at what the farmers are going through. They're already saying that they may have a couple of months or so, or you know, they starting to realize, and they're struggling. They're struggling. They're using their reservoir water already because they said that the ground is dry. They're not getting enough rain. You know, they said that their plant life is dying. The animals are becoming sick due to the AI data centers, right? There was a study that went out yesterday that I saw, and you can look it up. It went into how a lot of the cattle, they started seeing that a lot of the weight, the weight of the cattle is dying, and it's dropping due to the AI data centers. The energy that is, is pushing, it's killing a lot of people, and it's making the animals starve out, and lose weight, which is not good. Cows and cattle, they have to be made fat, but also if they becoming sickly, that means there's also things you can't eat. That's them that till the ground, the farmers, those that grow. It says, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Right? And look at the times we're living in. This is not a time of peace. I said this in the lesson before yesterday. It's not a time of peace. And this is not a time of, dancing. This is a time of mourning and war. This is a time of hate, because in this time, everyone is going through a terrible time. And a lot of people that's not preparing their mind and their spirit in YAHAWASHI is going to soon realize that. All of you that's going on vacation, playing around, thinking everything is a joke, thinking nothing's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? You're going to soon realize, that this is not the place of our rest. And you're going to soon realize that the prophets were among you, like it's written in Ezekiel chapter 2. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And what's the sword? It's talking about those nuclear missiles that's coming to this place. And one people shall stand up and fight against another. That's talking about civil war. City against city, brother against his own brother, right? Civil war, race wars is coming. Civil war is already on the rise. They already got this thing they call it leftist versus rightist. They said, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? It's talking about them modern day guns that they have. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, right? That's their mayors, their governors, even the president. Look at the president. Nobody trusts in him, man. Nobody cares about Donald Trump right now. No one believes anything he says. And people are already doing, are trying to do things about it. They're already trying to impeach him, But look at Esau. They showing their wickedness. And they're going to show it even more. They're getting ready to bring wrath upon the people. And the people not going to know what to do. People believe that Iran is actually attacking the water infrastructure. But some people are questioning if it's their own government. If it's America. If it's Donald Trump that's doing it. So they can control the people. And they are getting ready to do that. Now, they're going to do it in the fullest of what they think, no. But they are going to implement that mark of the beast, which is the microchip, the RFID chip that they're trying to push, And for them to push it, they got to push out this 6G, which they're getting ready to do very, very, very soon. You understand? Y'all better listen. Y'all better start listening to these things, man. Because y'all going to soon realize when this word stop going out, when the famine of the word come, y'all going to be having itching ears like the scripture said. Y'all going to be wanting to hear these words. And then it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. They're going to do whatever they want to make sure they get what they like to call peace and stability, which they will not have. It just will be utter chaos. It says, a man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able. These are the times, brothers and sisters, that we are coming to. We coming to these times where you're not going to be able to go travel abroad, go to the beach, go to the pool, you know, go see your grandma, go see your grandfather, they go see your girl, go see your man, go see that side, you know what I'm saying, that sneaky link. You're not going to be able to see these people, man. You know, and a lot of y'all going to get put to death because y'all going to think everything is sweet. Y'all think everything is filled with honey, which means you think nothing is going to happen. You got people in the comment sections all over different videos. They don't believe World War III coming. They don't believe a famine is coming. They don't believe the power is going to go out. They don't believe the water infrastructure is going to be taken down. You know, people are like, oh, my store is filled up with food all the time. What did the Lord say? When he talked about the victuals, when he said that, you know, they think it'd be good case. Let me see if I can find that. You know, I think it's in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I probably can't find it right now. Salakia. I think it's 2nd Ezra 16. Let me make sure. Where the Lord said they take it for good case. Hold on, bear with me. Oh, here you go right here, verse 21. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, right? It says that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even shall evils grow upon earth. And that's what's going on now. Evils are growing in the earth. Sword, that's the missiles, the bombs that's dropping. They're dropping bigger and bigger bombs on each other. You know, American military, the ammunition is out of, they out of ammunition. You know, so they trying to cause a peace trial with Iran. And Iran not going for that, man. You know, because the Most High, he controls the minds of the kings of the earth. He controls the armies and the militaries of the earth. They can't do nothing they think, man. The Lord is harder in their heart like he did in the day of Joshua. You know, for them to gather together in one place so YAHAWASHI can destroy them all. It says, then shall evil grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And great confusion is here. Niggas don't know Salakia, but people don't know what's going on. Not man or woman or child. People preparing their children for school, thinking it's about to be a good year. You know, you got people getting ready for college, thinking they about to get their master's degree. You know what I'm saying? They bachelors. They about to go travel. They about to go have some fun. Go to the beach. You know, get to take a break. You know, everybody think it's a good time until you got a lot of people that questioning what's going on. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to stock up. They asking people, what should we do? People are afraid because they found out that the COVID-19 vaccine, you know what I'm saying, is making people sick, made people sick and dying, and that how the government played their hand in that, which many of us have been telling y'all, and even your own people have been telling y'all, but y'all didn't believe it. Y'all made jokes about it, made funny videos on it. Y'all take everything as a goddamn joke until it hits your ass, you know. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. Right, a lot of people going to die because they have no food or water. People don't fast. People don't discipline their bodies. They just eat, and drink. Drinking all that Don Julio, all that Hennessy, drinking all that juice, giving their kids all these snacks, you know. But when that famine come, look how many people going to wild out because they don't got no snacks. It says, and the other that escape the hunger shall the shore destroy. Right, so you may be able to survive because I'm stocked up, but then a couple 50 men might chase you down. Watch out, my young. Yeah, 50 men might chase you down, you know what I'm saying, to take your food and your water. These are the times we living in, but people are not prepared for these things. People don't believe it. Like the Lord said, but then they shall know that there's a prophet among them. Of course, at that time, the Lord was speaking to Ezekiel unto the children of Israel being stiff-necked, but all the people on the earth, especially in this place, Babylon, America, is stiff-necked, stiff-hearted. They don't want to hear these things of Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi. They don't want to hear the things of the prophets. We're called crazy men, mad men, drunk men, you know, people that just wear Power Ranger garments and talk nonsense. This is what we're called. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, right? Because nobody's going to have anywhere to bury them, because there's going to be so many dead bodies in America. And there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and sow it, right? The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them, right? Because there's going to be so many people dead in the earth. The fruit are going to decay. They're going to ripe and then decay and become rotten. So many dead bodies, the stench of the earth is going to be so stinky. You know, it's going to be so many, you know, flies.